ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, everybody in between. Still going through the cards my friend gave me. We got like 3 or 4 sets to go, so we're doing great. I've been thinking about it, and Rudy at Alpha Investments may be planning that box or a buyout of millions of dollars of product. And if not him, one of his Patreons, who's quite rich, is planning this, theoretically. Maybe he's trying to get people to spend money on that product to encourage a spend rate. Encourage people to spend their money so that they don't have money for other things like reserve list cards, which might be what he's going to buy out. That might be a strategy too. But now let's just assume, let's disregard that and just say that it's going to be unsealed product. Can you imagine someone has enough money that they can eliminate everything on the market and send up, let's just say the Final Fantasy collector boxes. It's maybe they've been buying a whole bunch this whole time. I don't think that's a really great example. Something that's probably a better example would be, or a better target would be something like Aether Drift. It's sitting out there. All the poor selling sets, or also Final Fantasy. Okay, let's start with Final Fantasy. If they do that, I mean, they're probably going to do all of them, really. So, Final Fantasy, they push the price up to $5,000 for a collector box overnight. And every time somebody lists one at anything lower than $5,000, they will buy it. The average person will not be able to keep up. What happens then? Well, they've probably been buying a bunch already. They're sitting on all the product. All of it is that one particular product because they're focusing on just that one. And anybody that tries to get it is going to have to pay more than $5,000. And if one person gets it, they're going to go for $10,000. And they're going to keep going and keep pushing until there's nothing left. That's my theory. Because then you control the market. You can name whatever price you want. Why would you need to do that though if you already got tons of money? Well, for fun. Why not? I mean, there are scenarios where this could happen. It's not likely that that particular scenario would happen, but imagine they've got that money that they can use, and they can buy every single box that's sitting out there. Now, they wouldn't just be on TCG Player. They'd be going from like every single location they could find to make sure that you wipe out as much as you can, and you do it as silently as possible before you take over. In theory, because wouldn't it make more sense to get as much product as you can before you do this? I mean, that's the whole theory of a buyout, really. You build a huge position, and then you do a buyout because you've already got a full position. You've got 1,000 boxes that you're sitting on, and you start buying up the market. Buying up the market at that point, when say you've got 4,000 boxes, and your average cost is $100 a box, right? And say currently it's gone up, maybe it's like $130. Well, if you start buying and you notice the market's thinning out, you start buying and you keep buying, you keep pushing, it's worth it to you to pay that's like $10,000 to keep pushing it up. You're making it so that what you're spending is nothing compared to the profit you'll be making by pushing the price up that high. And you keep it high. You don't let down on the gas. You keep it high. You send that thing up to $300 to $500 on purpose, buying everything you can whenever it comes out to make sure that people will be forced to pay that price. But imagine doing that for every single box that's out there, except for Metazoo. Right? Right? I mean, Flesh and Blood. There's lots of boxes sitting out there. Nobody really wants it. The first edition Flesh and Bloods. They've got cold foils, right? They're supposed to be worth something. There's Pokemon, of course. There's Magic, of course. But what about some other games? What about Sorcery? Sorcery's got high-end stuff that people are willing to pay for. Right now it's kind of in a lull because it's in between sets. It's been a long time in between sets because they're only doing once a year to release a set. They did have that Dragon King little subset, but that's not enough to like satiate the appetite for the collectors out there. There's not enough of it to go around. Small things like Force of Will, like Rudy said before in one of his videos in Off Investments. You could buy it, you could buy the boxes, but who are you going to sell it to? There's hardly anybody that's playing it. They all got out because of like the fiasco that happened where they overprinted, and it just like never came back. What are you going to do with that? There is a small market. It's there. What are they going to do? What can you do? What's out there that could be a good target? Maybe it's like another card game like the Wixos or whatever it's called. It could be everything too. All the Weiss Schwartz stuff. Rudy's already got huge positions in that, the largest probably in the world. So like, why not? Why not buy everything else out? Force everybody to pay if they want it. But you can't do it on a beginning card game. That's not established. That's the thing you can't do. You need a game that's established because you need the player base there. It's like that the time travel theory. You couldn't go back and get as much alpha as you can and hoard the alpha for Magic, because then people wouldn't have been able to discover it. They wouldn't have had enough cards to go around for people to play the game, to love it, to make it as big, to make everything else that you know and love today of all the different card games. You have to let that. You could go get a bunch of cases, hide them away. I mean, in theory, with the time travel theory. I mean, you could do that, but you cannot take 40 cases of Magic Alpha from the past and bring it to the future. It will destroy everything. Magic will never be a big thing because it wouldn't be enough at all anywhere to go around. There won't be enough players, and and Wizards think that the game failed. Oh, I misspelled. There it is. Footlight Fiend. I thought it was Footlight. So that's what I was thinking about today. Is like, you have enough money that you can do that kind of damage. And you can outweigh everybody. I mean, what in theory you could do then, I mean, what are people gonna do? They're gonna like go to another website. They won't go to TCG Player because it's been bought out. They'll try and look for other websites and desperately try and find some kind of secondary place, and that's probably what we'll do. The card buying will go underground to like Facebook Marketplace, or some other places will pop up, and people won't sell to the people that bought all the boxes, because there'll be names, and when the people cross-reference the names, and those people will basically be blacklisted by everyone once the names are announced. In theory, I mean, I don't think there might be privacy issues or whatever, but I mean, they'll be known if they do this buyout of all of everything. And sure, they'll get away with it, but then after that, like, all the selling's gonna have to go underground. Or like, if they try and buy in the future, they're gonna probably get blocked by the sellers, so that people can have a fair chance of the product. In theory, but who knows? I mean, like, regular people, it'd be like the Pokemon situation now. Like, it would be the same thing happening. There's this demand from the rich people. They're like, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for the box, and they'll buy it for like $70 to $150, and from the people who have blocked those other people, and they'll turn right around and sell to the people that are blocked. And for like, you can't blame them. They're making like make a $700 profit in one shot. And I'm not gonna blame somebody for like making a whole paycheck in one transaction for somebody. I mean, it might be like two paychecks for some people. Who knows? You just don't know. How much was that for? 4 jump shots. But that was my thinking. It's probably flawed thinking. I clearly probably didn't think of something. But if it happens, I warned you that you should probably give it some thought. I'm not saying take it seriously, but give it some thought that this is a possibility of Boxageddon. All the boxes will be taken to Pound Town, scooped up, with no chance of escaping from the rich people who will do the buyouts. It could happen. I'm surprised actually it hasn't happened. Because let me be honest with you, if my family had won something like the Mega Millions, $400 million or more, I tell you what, I definitely would buy out the market on all the sealed products. I wouldn't care. I would push that price up. Everything I could get, I would buy it. Just to force people to have to pay me a higher price. But But at the same time, too, in theory, I'd like to buy Wizards, just like Rudy would at Alpha Investments, and set my own path with that company. I probably actually would team up with Rudy for that, because he's probably a hell of a lot smarter with that stuff than I am. And I would want to make things collectible again, but at the same time have it playable. Does that counter opposite of what's possible? Doing both those two things at once? Is it not possible doing two things at once like that? Find the balance. Can they not exist together? I'll tell you what I would do. I would do like sort of like what the Flesh and Blood has done and create a suspended list. You don't actually ban cards, you just temporarily suspend them. Now, the reserve list would be still intact. I mean, I would abolish reserve list, but then put it on the withheld list, suspended list, and those cards would still be theoretically banned. They would just be called suspended. So don't get your hopes up on seeing Moxes and stuff. Boxageddon control. That's not happening. In theory. But you never know. Things can change. I have a couple ideas actually of what I could do. And that would actually put real Moxes into some players' hands. Very, very few. You can't go crazy and reprint it for everybody. That's not happening. They have to be desirable. That's the whole reason that I would get into it. That's the whole reason I like Magic, because I knew, just like Rudy did, that one day those cards would be his fortunes. The only thing is, I didn't have somebody like him to root me on, to hold fast on the cards. But it is what it is. Life events happen. And things go, life goes on. Whatever. Wow, I finished another box. Moving on up. Alright, I rambled enough. 18 minutes, good lord. Alright. We're outie. See you on the flip side, people. Good night. Or good day. Good morning. Ohio. Konnichiwa. Konbanwa. Aloha kakakiaka. Aloha winla. Aloha ahi ahi.